Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Jason Shin here, Master of Ceremonies, as they call it. I would like to introduce our next speaker, Linda Ollmann. She is the Director of Sourcing Operations. Oh, excuse me. Supposed to be on silent. With ModCloth, she will be speaking today about sourcing strategies, for a contemporary supply chain. I'd like to remind everybody that we have a chat function here on Zoom as well as the Facebook group. Please include your questions there, and we will address them at the end of the presentation. Linda, it's great to see you. Very excited to hear about what you have to say. I'm a big fan of ModCloth and what you guys are doing. So the floor is yours, and I'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you, Jason. I'm going to quickly share my screen with everyone. There you go. Let me know if everybody can see it. I am, as Jason said, the Director of Sourcing Operations ModCloth. There's a little bit of our garment. We're back to independently owned thanks to Go Global Retail, who bought our company in January of this year. Originally, ModCloth started in 2002 as an independent brand that championed vintage, feminine, and fun fashion. We were the original digital brand, and everybody else is catching up to us right now. Go Global admired ModCloth's unique product assortment, and mission to empower to uplift women. We were the original brand that felt that female leadership, no photoshopping, and size inclusion was important. Our customer profile, most of the ladies that shop our brand live in big cities or small cities, mostly coming from New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago. Her average age is 33, 77% have a college degree, and they are on social media, as everybody is. 86% coming from Pinterest, 70% Facebook, and 54% from Instagram. They feel our brand is playful, optimistic, smart, friendly, unconventional, inclusive, and feminist-minded. We are not juvenile, bitter, esoteric, reserved, weird, exclusionary, or we consider the male gaze. Our customers shop clothing that they feel they look good in and makes them feel happy. Besides ModCloth, our customers also shop, like everybody else, at Target, but they also go onto Etsy and other stores, including unique vintage stores or boutiques. And then you can see the trickle down to Old Navy, H&M, Unique Vintage, Anthropologie, etc. Our customer likes most about ModCloth by a landslide is our product. We have vintage inspired garments. We design all of our prints in-house with an in-house studio that makes them quirky and a little bit different, and it's timeless. She can buy ModCloth and wear it for seasons. How our customers describe our brand, as you can see by the numbers, again, by far and away unique. We do things that she can't get from other places, including sweaters with dinosaurs on them or cats and things like that. They also like the vintage, we're modern vintage inspired clothing. For sourcing, ModCloth currently produces wovens, cut and sew knits, sweaters, denim, outerwear, from casual all the way through to special occasion dresses. Most of our vendor base was 100% China-centric. Last year, we looked for new vendor partners outside of China, including Vietnam, Sri Lanka, India, Eastern European, and South America. Every time I went to a new country to look for sourcing opportunities, I found that all of the raw materials came from China. So I ended up back having to work around Chinese New Year or whatever other obstacles I was facing. I have added a few vendors outside of China, but therefore most of my sourcing is done with China factories, finding that my lead times are shorter. My MOQ requirements are smaller, and the quality of workmanship out of my China factories is very strong. Next year, for our future sourcing strategy, we're going to continue to upgrade fabric sourcing to improve our customer experience. That's been a huge motivation for ModCloth this year, and will continue to next year. We are revamping our fit to be more in line with the contemporary other brands. We are improving our fabric, our color palettes, all in line to reduce our return rate, which is normally high on an online brand because customers can't try it on, they can't touch it, they can't feel it. We want to make sure our fabrics are a little bit better, so when they open up the bag, it feels fantastic, it looks fantastic, and when they try it on, it's true to size. We're continuing to look for factory partners that are sustainable and ethical manufacturers with a low global footprint, including clean water, clean energy, and clean waste. The best facilities with technical expertise while maintaining the best environment for their employees. All points that resonate to our customer and to our own company. When I'm sourcing factories, I try my best to allocate the product to the factory that it's best at. That will give me the best success and the factory the best success. Our customer has called out for more sustainable and organic fabrics. That's been a hot topic for years. Customers say they want it, but unfortunately they don't want to pay for it, but our customer is still calling it out. So where it's appropriate for our customers, we want to try to add it. Another key initiative is to continue to reduce the lead times from order to door. The world's becoming digital and the customers are shopping online, wanting things immediately and new product faster and faster. We are working with our vendor partners to build a trust, working hand in hand to help reduce the lead time by improving our processes and efficiencies. Hopefully getting to the point that once we trust a vendor and they know how we work, we'll be able to let them handle some of the key milestone processes like approvals directly in their warehouse. And that's about it from us at ModCloth. I wanted to thank you. My email address is on the screen if anybody wants to reach out, or our website address is also on the screen. Thank you for joining us. Jason, that's it from me.
Apologies. Okay, fantastic. Hi, Linda. Sorry, we got a comment here.
I read the chat. It was from someone I used to work with at 3 Dots.
Patricia, okay.
Yeah. Hi, Pat. She was one of our designers.
Awesome, okay, great. Let's see here. Kevin, do we have any questions from Facebook or anywhere else? You can go off mute, Kevin, it's all right. Patricia says she just got a sneak peek of your cute kitty.
I know, welcome to working at home, everybody. Sorry, the other day when we were on a sourcing call with all 18 of my China vendors, my dog decided to pick up my kitten by the neck and run around with it, thinking she was a toy. So we're all in a new world working from home.
Oh, I know. It's interesting, the dynamic. I think you're going to see some really interesting innovations, though, moving forward.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and everybody's just so used to it. Patty was one of our designers at 3 Dots, and she knows how important it is, like you and I were talking about, production, product development, design, all working together to design a product that our vendors are successful producing for, making it shippable at a good profit margin and something that our customers want. And that's, how all branches of a company have to work together nowadays.
Yeah, I'm curious, how has ModCloth fared and been affected by the COVID pandemic? How have you guys had to kind of adapt? And I know that's probably a very common question you receive.
We are extremely lucky that we were born a digital brand. And when Go Global bought us, um, again, they took ownership the end of January, so it really sucked for them that that's when they chose to buy a company, was a month before we went work from home. Um, but that being said, part of the purchase of the company was to remove our small retail presence we had and to work on fixing our internal issues first to help build the brand back up. So at the time of ownership and at the time of COVID, we had no brick and mortar stores and no retail accounts to face cancellations from.
Wow.
So we
Yeah.
were very lucky. Um, Online shopping obviously has increased, and we have had, same as days year over year or better. The last month or so has been a little bit slower just because people are getting, they're getting more concerned, I think, by how long this has gone on. And then we had the elections, but hopefully afterwards, after the elections, when it gets closer to the vaccine, I think people, will be getting more comfortable with getting back to work, and shopping again as they did. But we were very lucky. Our management put us, our owner, he was very conservative at the beginning. We went to stay at home immediately in the middle of March. We've all been working from home. Our technical designers have dress forms at home. They're actually doing fittings. My team has all the color standards and artwork standards at home. The packages are going there. The only time we go into the office, and this is to keep ourselves safe for our executive team, is when we have to work on product. So yesterday we had our costing review for our July 2021 product. The protos were in the office. We went in to go over them, maintaining mask wearing and social distancing, but we're actually hands-on. Otherwise, we are at home. Very sad. We have brand new offices. I've probably been to 6 times since we moved.
Well, that's one part of the process that is very difficult to do virtually. When you have to get that hands-on, for fit sessions and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I know
We've done a really good job. Our technical team does, when it was in the thick of things and we were at a stay-at-home order, our factories would ship the fit samples directly to our fit model's house. She
Oh,
would try
wow.
them on and we would do it by Zoom because we use the same fit models.
Yeah.
But now the protos go directly to the technical designer's home. They spec them. They put them on dress forms there, and we just bring them into the office when we do presentations with design or our in-house buyers. And then everything else goes back to the tech designers' homes all the way through TOP. We've really adapted, and even my team of junior people feel they are working smarter now. You don't have in Los Angeles where we are, you don't have your commute. So where we had people coming in anytime between 9 and 10, everybody's online working at 8 a.m. now. You also unfortunately don't have a hard shut off at the end of the day. There's less distractions from just, the office space. So I feel we've adapted very well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how, I think COVID's forced companies in a good way to some degree that, there are more efficient ways to run your business. And especially nowadays, it's very, very possible to run your supply chain, well, supply chain especially, but, most aspects can be done digitally, especially a company as involved as you. And, it's something that can be done. And it'll be interesting to see how that's going to trickle down into not only cost savings, but initiatives and sustainability and stuff like that as well.
Right, right.
So, okay, we have a question come in. In the idea of companies and suppliers of sustainable fabrics, is it important to name it on the label or promotion of the product? What would be a good way to show those efforts in the supply chain? I guess the question is, what would be a good way to market and educate their consumer base about their efforts in the supply chain?
Very good question. For us, it's something because obviously you don't want too many tags, hang tags, on your garment, because we're all trying to go green. We are lucky that our customer shops online. We can put that information in our product information. And it is important. She wants to know everything. Our and it's, my past comes from American Apparel, and Jason, you and I talked about it. Very similar customer base as ModCloth. While the product is different, the customer is different. She feels involved in our brand. She feels that she actually is part of us, and they want to have input. So the more information we can give her on our product, the more she eats it up. She wants to know things. I'm doing some sweaters for a special collaboration we have next year that we're really excited about, with a factory in Peru that is woman-owned, fully sustainable, does philanthropic work for schools in Peru. She wants to know that it's organic, it's fully sustainable. They are all things that's important to her while maintaining our price points. So yes, we do. For us, we either do it on our website in the product information. We also talk about it on our social media.
Yeah, I think that's
when we have a story to tell.
Yeah, that's a huge, and this is a topic that's come up quite a bit in this the virtual show this year has been, it really seems, and it seems like the onus has kind of been put on the brands and the retailers to educate their consumers, especially if it's a demographic that is where these issues are, very important to them, and they're conscious of sustainability and the various forms of it. And, it's these certification companies and these different procedures, like those individuals and those companies, they do a good job at marketing to the industry. It's very difficult to get trickled down to the consumer. So,
right. All of our factories are or will be WRAP certified by the middle of 2021. That is an initiative we have going forward. But you're right. Who outside of this industry knows what that means?
Right.
Our denim factory in China is doing full new sustainability processes. We tell that story online. We spotlighted them as a vendor. We made sure people knew, the water processes and dye efficiencies, similar to what companies like Everlane does a great job at that. When you drill down to learn more about the product, you can find out things like that if you're interested.
Yeah, well, what are some examples? I know social media is such a powerful tool in conjunction with things like TikTok and, you having a YouTube channel, especially for the brand. What are some creative ways you can think of, I think for social media especially, but other ways as well, that brands and retailers could communicate these initiatives with their base?
That's interesting, because most of ours comes from Instagram and YouTube. We do a big presence on Pinterest. We, even our design teams will do little videos about the product, where, especially nowadays, we can't shoot our product images on a model on our website right now. So they're on really boring dress forms. And, some products handle it well and some products don't handle it so well. So we try to send it out to influencers the best we can and get it on them. But lately we've done little videos on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, Reels, or Pinterest of our designers actually just in a studio, really casually showing the garments, kind of just showing you the trimmings on it, or, the fabric up close, things like that, to engage the customers. The customers like engagement.
Yeah.
And it's hard, it's hard to show something flat. Lately, we also we are one of the first brands that we try to do all of our product that we design internally in extra small through 4X, because we've always believed that if a regular size customer and plus size customer were shopping, they should be able to shop the same garments at the same price. We don't charge more for our plus size. So we've been doing more online presence with a regular size customer, a plus size customer. We've also been showing, including, people, handicapped people and things like that, that we get great feedback on from our customer base. Some products we can't do full ranges. ModCloth also has a marketplace where we buy external brands to sell on our website. Obviously, some of those are only available in limited sizes. And I can tell you, we get some, not so much love on those items because it's something we're known for. People want to come to us and buy it either in a 2 or a 20. That's what they expect from us. And they certainly call us out when we can't give that to them.
Well, even if they're calling you out, that's good that you're having the engagement. That means the customer is very involved in the brand, which is exactly what you want when you're trying to communicate these initiatives.
Yeah, our customer is very involved in our brand. Sometimes, you read it and you're like, but they'll call us out on, they want, stock when we're out of stock in sizes. They'll reach out, wanting to know when it's coming back in. If we offer something that's not in full sizes, they're really like I said, they almost feel like they're part of the ModCloth team, and they are. We believe our vendor factories are part of our team. We can't do it without them. I couldn't do my job without great factory vendor partners, and our customers, they're important. We want their feedback because otherwise, we don't know what's going to be successful or what they want from us.
Yeah, as a brand that maybe doesn't have that type of engagement with their consumer base, are there any tips you would give for either people just starting out with their companies that can really build a strong foundation, or maybe somebody who wants to kind of rebrand and figure out how they can reach their audience a little bit better? I guess, what's your secret sauce, if you could explain it in not so many words?
Yeah, we listen to our customer, listen to her. She is going to be engaged in your brand, or she's going to walk away from your brand. And American Apparel did it as well as ModCloth. We respond to them. We reply to them on social media. We listen to her. We might do surveys via email. I mean, not to annoy them by giving too many, like a lot of brands do, but periodically we will reach out to them and ask them their thoughts on what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong, what we need to improve on. They are happy to give that feedback to you. In the olden days, because I've been doing this a long time, that used to be done on a hang tag where customers could pull it off and mail it back to the brand. Now it's done through social media. We'll do things like show them prints and ask them, do you like this one or this one? We'll reach out and ask about sizing. Do you feel we just redid our sizing based on that? We were small. Our sizing was old school and a little bit more junior. We just basically increased it to be more of a contemporary fit, mainly for us to reduce our return rate, but when you're shopping online, it's very important to be able to use the size chart, but also to be consistent in your sizes. You want a customer, if she's buying a medium in whatever other brand she shops, she wants to be able to buy a medium in your brand. So all those things are listening to her, whether you reach out the old-fashioned way or on social media or by email. You want their feedback and you have to take it seriously. If you don't, they're walking away. They have lots of choices nowadays.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the social media is a great platform to do that. But yeah, it'd be interesting is you could include like a QR code on your tags and have it go right to a product survey or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of a cool idea. One company I know that does it really well is ASOS for the fit and getting their feedback, but also they have a little tool where you can actually select different designers or brands that you've worn before, and it'll give you a recommendation based on that sizing criteria. So, yeah.
Believe it or not, that's something that we just started, is to do more digging in more to why customers are returning it. That's something we hadn't done in the past at the previous ownership. And it's something we're doing now. We want to know why she's not happy and why she wants a return. Now, on hard bottoms like denim, a lot of people will buy 2 sizes when they're shopping denim online because there is such variance, and one of them will be returned. Just because not because there's anything wrong with it, because she didn't know. You do that in a store when you go into a dressing room. So that those categories are a higher rate return just because we all know why. But anything else we want to know, was there something wrong with it? Was there something that we could improve?
Yeah, that's denim's an entirely different animal for that. It's fun.
Thankfully, it's a small product category,
Yeah,
but it is.
yeah, even something, it's like a lot of denim now has stretch in it, but even then, the fit
Yeah.
is so specific. It's one of
And
those categories that,
it's different brand to brand. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like that's where people that are trying new brands, that's where the challenges they can run into with e-commerce is. It's like you can buy certain things
And
online,
then
especially hard
one
goods.
of our
Denim.
struggles is within our website, we sell ModCloth denim. We offer external brands, like we have Driftwood, which is a vintage inspired brand on our website. We have some Levi product. We have some European brands. So it's very important to make sure the customer can easily find a size chart, because the European brands out of UK will be a different size set,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Levi's standards are different than ours. You don't want to, upset her when she just picks what she thinks is her
Right.
size, and yet the brand had a different, baseline.
Yeah, I love that you kept saying, she says, like, you really understand your consumer base. And I think that's where there's a lot of cost savings, and from a sustainability aspect, the carbon footprint that returns involve,
Mhm.
and the
And
recycling.
returns a lot of times aren't saleable. They aren't, you can't repurpose them and resell them. They end up being, a write-off. Every week, our customer care team sends out a recap of customer engagement, and it's sent out to the design, to the buyers, to the product development and sourcing teams. And it includes like which of our social media posts got the most engagement, what she liked, what she didn't like, what were her feedback. I mean, from everything to, posting about the election, and what the positives were versus what the negatives were. Our customers like when we do an animal charity, our customers are big on that. So where we do something where we post that we're going to give a donation to a cat rescue or a dog rescue, they're all things that really get her engaged and communicating back with us.
Fantastic. All right, Linda, thank you so much. As always, a pleasure to see you. So I don't know, when me and Linda were speaking before, and Go Global, the company that just bought them, is owned by, or Jeff Streeter, who is one of the founding partners. And he's been on the show before, and he's also a previous professor of mine when I was in fashion school. So kind of talking about how small of a world it is. It's really good to see how everybody comes together and is able to share their collective wisdom to help all of you watching avoid some of the pitfalls and get you in some inspiration on how to do it moving forward. So thank you again, Linda.
Thank you for having ModCloth.
You'll have to come to one of our shows. We'll be very happy to have you in person. Yeah,
we would love that.
We'll keep our fingers crossed for 2021. See if we can get it.
Someone wants to know why returns are not sellable. It depends on what quality they come back in. We really want our customer experience to be top notch. So if it comes back tossed in a bag and not presentable, we just put it aside, and at the end of the season we'll close it out to an off-price vendor. If it's damaged, a lot of some of the returns could be damaged. We aren't going to put that back into stock as well. So thank you, Michelle, for asking that.
Yeah, returns is one of those things that's but there are ways to either recycle the products. A good example is back when I was in high school, I worked on a construction site, and this one builder, in order to, you have to dig the foundation, you have to pay someone to get rid of the dirt. Well, he found somebody who was in landscaping who bought the dirt at a very discounted price, of course, but it's just an example of,
Yep.
We had a panel talking about
sell it to people that recycle the cottons. I've seen fabric mills. I mean, Patricia and I have seen fabric mills that buy used cotton, shred it, and make new fabrics out of it. It's amazing what people can do. But yeah, we look at it returns are costly to a brand, because you have to get it back. You have to look at it and decide, is it something that goes back on the shelf, or does it go into a return section that we have to deal with later on and write it off?
Well, as you'd spoken about before, there are ways to mitigate those returns. It's not always looking at how to resell them, but how to reduce the amount of returns you get. And, understanding your customer like you had just described is extremely valuable for that type of initiative. So I think it's probably somewhere, an area that most brands need to revisit, see if they're doing it effectively, see if there's a better way to do it, and plenty of platforms to get that information these days.
No, it's very true. And it comes down to, you all shop online, and when you get it at home and you're so excited when you get your package, the first thing you do, and it's shopping retail is the same, where you walk over to rack, but when you rip open the bag and you put your hand on it, you want it to be soft and you want it to be yummy feeling. And then then you want to look at the color and the print, and if it makes you happy, then you put it on, you want it to fit. They're kind of the emotional processes of whether you're at a brick and mortar store and the first thing you look at is color or print, and you walk over to the rack because that attracted you, and then you touch it. If it feels great, you'll take it to the dressing room. At home, it's the opposite. You touch it first. If it's a bad fabric and it feels rough and it's not that friendly, you might not even try it on. You might just kind of put it back and put it away. So it's just, you have to really think of your customer experience and how she's going to receive the garment into her home to get her to keep it and be happy and come back to your brand. You can sell her one thing, but you want to sell her multiple times. You want return customers.
Yeah, and having that quality control over deciding, that is a quality control issue. If you have returns coming in and you just have a blanket statement that says we're gonna reshelf everything, put it back out there to sell, and somebody receives an online order that's disheveled or stained somewhere, heaven forbid, you just lost your customer right there.
You've lost your customer, and that's a big cost.
Yeah.
In just upgrading our fabrics, upgrading our vendor base to better factories with better quality control, we've been able to reduce overall our return rate by 10%, which is huge across most categories. That is something we're going to continue to work on, but we're pretty proud of that because that's a huge amount. That means that she's happy when she's getting her package, she's coming back online, and she's also spreading the word about our brand, which reduces your customer acquisition costs.
Yeah. And Michelle, so thank you for engaging here. A good resource would be if you go to the ATS website, we have a list of all of our partners. I'll post a link here. There's a bunch of people that are addressing these issues with the Reverse Logistics Association, Tony Shirota. They help people with liquidations and reverse logistics returns, stuff like that. They're finding cost-effective ways for you to save money on that, and as well as Gabriella Smith with the Upcycle Project. They have initiatives there, Geotex and all these others. So I highly recommend you. Let me just type in our homepage here. Take a look at the ATS website. We have quite a few resources on there for you, and just take a look and reach out to all these people. They're very, very happy to help. And almost all of the service providers we have, if they have most of them have free services. Sometimes it's just a matter of giving them a call and getting pointed in the right direction. But it's a good resource for you. So, okay, well, we'll wrap up. Thank you so much, Linda. Again, it's good to see you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you again in the future. Take care. Be safe.
Bye-bye.
Yep.